Howdy again everyone. Today another new, inexpensive, zoomable kit lens arrives in Canon land, the RF 24-50mm f4.5 to 6.3 IS STM. The idea behind this one is completely obvious. It's clearly intended as the cheapest possible zoom lens to come as a kit with Canon's less expensive full-frame RF mount mirrorless cameras. A lens just to get you started as you're figuring out what to upgrade to. I mean, just look at its parameters. A very small zoom range and a dark maximum aperture mean that it will only really be useful for street or landscape photography. For shooting indoors, you'll need to use very high ISO levels on your camera, and zooming into only 50mm isn't much use for subject or portrait or event photography. But undeniably, the lens does have one or two selling points. Firstly, it can zoom out to 24mm, which is a lovely wide angle, and if your camera is high enough resolution, you could always crop in from 50mm in editing. It's also very small and light, which could be appealing to some landscape photographers who are climbing mountains with it or whatever. And finally, when bought as a kit lens with your camera, it's affordable at $200 or £200 in the UK. You can buy it separately for about $300 or £350 in the UK, but come on, don't do that. You'll be able to find them on eBay before too long, much cheaper. I'd like to thank Canon for loaning me a copy of this lens for a couple of weeks for testing, although as usual, this is a totally independent review. Let's take a look at build quality first, and as you would expect, everything is dead simple here. Lots of plastic everywhere, even down to the lens mount itself, although admittedly the lens does feel tightly assembled. It doesn't feel like it's about to fall apart in your bare hands or anything, like kit lenses did years ago. Having said that, there's no noticeable weather sealing on the lens. You have to extend the lens out by turning the plastic zoom ring before you shoot, and it does so with a slightly hard and unpleasant snap. The zoom ring just turns averagely smoothly here, with just a touch of stickiness to it. In front of that comes a smooth turning plastic control ring, which can be customized to manually focus or change other things like your aperture, ISO, exposure compensation, and so on. The lens's autofocus system just works averagely quickly, but it's silent and accurate. The lens exhibits just a little focus breathing. The lens is image stabilized though, which is helpful, as Canon's less expensive new cameras tend not to have in-body stabilization. Here is some footage shot on a windy day with it turned off and now turned on. As you can see, it makes a nice difference to your handheld footage. It works pretty well. The lens's front element has a 58mm filter size, and it doesn't come with a lens hood. Overall, cheap and cheerful build quality here, but it does work okay. Alright then, image quality. I'm testing it today on my Canon EOS R5 camera with its full frame 45MP sensor. In-camera corrections are turned on here. At 24mm and f4.5, in the middle of the image, we are seeing excellent sharpness and good contrast. The image in the corners is decently sharp too, although we see an odd pattern emerging in the finer details, possibly to do with strong distortion correction. More on that in a minute. At f5.6, the corners look a touch brighter, although even stopped down to f8, we are still seeing good but not excellent sharpness. Stop down to f11 and diffraction begins to make the image softer. Alright, let's zoom into 50mm now. At f6.3, sharpness in the middle is just good, not great. The corner image quality looks basically the same, just okay resolution with slightly ghostly contrasting edges. The image quality stays the same, stop down to f8 in the corners and back in the middle, just okay sharpness here, good enough for 24MP sensor but not great on 45. Stop down as far as f16 and sharpness takes a major hit, again due to the effect of diffraction. So I would sum all this up by saying that the lens's sharpness is just okay to good on a 45MP camera. At least the corners don't get much softer than the middle. On a 24MP camera though, the lens should get you impressively sharp images. Okay, let's look at distortion and vignetting. The camera will correct these for you, and for this lens it won't actually allow you to turn off distortion correction, which is never a good sign. So let's look at the results from some raw images. Whoa, that's astonishingly poor for a lens with such a narrow zoom range. Just look at that barrel distortion, and the lens offers nothing but blackness in the image corners. Your camera is having to really crop and stretch your image here, not good. Stop down to f5.6 or f8 for vignetting within the visible frame to clear up, but those corners are still black as the night. Zoom into 50mm and we still see barrel distortion, but at least vignetting is low now. Canon clearly made precisely zero effort to optically correct distortions here, which is probably why the final resolution of your images isn't quite as high as it maybe could have been. Anyway, let's move on and look at close-up image quality. The lens can focus down to about 30cm. At f6.3, close-up image quality is very ghostly, with some blue colour fringing. Stop down to f8, and there's no more sharpness, but contrast greatly improves. Even stopped down to f11 though, there's no further improvement. Let's see how the lens works against bright lights now. At wider angles, only a very little flaring is visible here. Zoom into 50mm though, and more flaring artifacts make their way into your images. Finally, let's take a look at the quality of this lens's bokeh. It's almost a moot point here, as the maximum aperture is so dark that it's difficult to get out of focus backgrounds altogether, but when you do, they look soft enough. Overall, well, this is a pretty mediocre kit lens here, although it's not especially terrible in any way. On a 24MP camera, its image sharpness will be pretty high, but it shouldn't be pushed any harder than that, I don't think. Its narrow zoom range and maximum aperture are pretty lame, although it could make itself useful as a cheap, lightweight lens for landscape photography for people really on the go. Still, it is a lens you will want to upgrade from very quickly to get the most out of your shiny new Canon full-frame mirrorless camera. Alright, well, thanks everyone for watching, and a very big thank you to my Patreon supporters. This channel is a pretty low budget affair, out of necessity, not choice, so you guys and gals really help to keep things trucking along here. Check it out in the description below, because Patreon supporters get all kinds of exclusive bonus content that I love putting together just for them, twice or 3 times a month. Ciao for now, everyone.